All right, as we see that this has triggered massive outrage, a complaint has now been filed against the filmmaker Leena Manimekalai. A complaint has now been filed against her for this poster of that film that shows Ma Kaali, goddess Kaali, smoking. That poster, of course, has raised widespread criticism. In fact, this has really triggered quite some outrage, with now a formal complaint being filed against her in Delhi. This is exactly, many of the right-wing groups had insisted that legal action be taken. In fact, we heard a filmmaker as well who spoke very clearly that this certainly is not freedom of speech. This is offending, insulting a religion, and that's not accepted. In fact, Leena has received a lot of criticism. She's refused to apologize, neither pull that poster down. She said very clearly that this is a misunderstanding. Once people watch the film, then their view on this film and their hate will turn into love. This is exactly what she said. But of course, many of them urging that strict action be taken against Leena for putting out this poster. Moreover, a ban on this film was also proposed by some of the artists, or rather some filmmaker, including Mr. Pandit, who we just heard a little while earlier. Of course, at this point, Leena claims that she has done nothing wrong, and this is a poster of a film which has a whole different context to it. Once people watch the film, then they understand the context behind this photograph. But of course, Ma Kaali smoking a cigarette not going down too well. It appears that the social media platform right now completely outraged with this photograph, asking several questions on if at all Leena will have the courage to ever depict gods of another religion in such light. This is a documentary film poster directed by Indian filmmaker Leena Manimekalai. This is a poster of that documentary film which she's put out, and she says that, in fact, she further tries to explain the context of it, saying that Ma Kaali, the woman is dressed in a costume of Ma Kaali. She's just taking a walk on the streets of Toronto and possibly lights up a cigarette. That was her version of it. But of course, Hindus, conservative Hindus at this point, are very upset with the fact that a poster of such nature on goddess Kaali has come up with Kaali smoking a cigarette. This is unacceptable. This is what is being said largely, while a complaint now formally been filed against filmmaker Leena in Delhi. In fact, Leena recently herself shared this poster of this upcoming documentary film on her social media platform, and it also debuted as part of a wider global launch of art at the Aga Khan Museum. This poster of that film was also released at the same time at the Aga Khan Museum. So a lot of questions being raised on Leena's intent and, more importantly, of her attempt through this poster to try and provoke religious sentiments or hurt religious sentiments at this point. Leena, of course, says that that was far from her intention. This was only a poster of a documentary film which has a whole different context to it. Once you watch it, then you'll love it, etc. But of course, none of that has been convincing enough. Let me quickly cut across to Shreya Chatterjee joining us live for more on that. Shreya, a quick word on the complaint that's been filed against filmmaker Leena in Delhi. What does the complaint copy say?
Well, Nabila, this complaint has been filed by Gama Savaz. The person in concern is filed. The complaint is Ajay Gautam. Now, what we do know that these
All right, I'm going to try and patch Shreya there. Shreya, if you can hear me, go on. Shreya, can you hear me? All right, I'm going to try and patch Shreya's audio there. But at this point, a formal complaint has been filed in Delhi. After much criticism and condemning what Leena has done, it appears that this now has turned into a formal police complaint. So what kind of action will the police take at this point? Will Leena be forced to pull down her poster? All those questions, of course, to be answered by the police themselves. If the police will push and urge Leena to pull down that poster, if she will be arrested for hurting religious sentiments. We know the atmosphere in the nation at this point. Clearly, this will be something that the police will take up seriously at this point.